It's snowing out there. I couldn't believe it. Just pulled back the curtains and it's just white everywhere. It's really quite exciting. It's been, what, I think it was 2012. Was the last time we actually had snow here in Stansted, Mountfitchett. So what am I going to do? Well, I wanted to go and find something historical, and it's certainly not going to be out in the fields. A church. I was going to go to Tilty Church actually. It's an amazing place. Got a lovely old priory and some of the remains are there, but not today. The car's staying parked up, and maybe I'll get the train in. A bit of public transport. Meet my nephew for breakfast in Bishop Stortford, and take it from there. It's going to be quite a challenge. Look at that. There you go, Mountfitchett Castle. Reconstruction of what a early Norman keep would have looked like. One of the only ones I think in the world actually. And there's a little bit of the original later Norman wall. There's a toy museum here as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Really worth a visit. 1066. Of course it's not open this time of year. In the spring we shall go in there and show you around. It's absolutely fantastic what they've done. Built by Monte de Fixo. Look at that. That's how Mountfitchett got its name. Monte de Fixo turned to Mountfitchett. Stansted Mountfitchett. Well, I was going to go up to the old church of St Mary's, but honestly I've just got splashed to bits. There's just cars throwing just slush all over the place. So I'm coming out of the village of Stansted. And there we go, there's the Dog and Duck pub on the left. There's a fine pint in there, and I'm going to go up towards some fields and a nature reserve. Now believe it or not, this is actually a road. It's wonderful. It's a shame the light wasn't a little bit stronger. Maybe the sun will come out later, but there's this tree's come down. It's brought down this power line, look, so nobody can get through. When I say nobody, you know, it's really only designed for a horse and cart, but it's still used. So I can just about manage it. So it's the beauty about being on foot. All that modern technology, can just sit at home. Right, on the way to Albury Buxton. It's a nature reserve, and Albury and Buxton were two spinsters who gave quite a few acres of natural beauty to Stansted and to the people. Well, this is where the road actually ends and the true countryside begins. And up here now in the autumn, I say the rainy season, because that can be any time of year here in dear old Blighty, but this literally, the fields are very high. This is very much a deep cut footpath, and the water comes off the fields and it literally flows down here like a river. It's absolutely amazing. This is beautiful. These old hornbeams here, they're absolutely ancient. Just look at the sort of, it's just this natural tracery that they've created. It's a beautiful pattern. Well, this is more like it. Look at this beautiful open field. This one I've never detected on. The farmer wasn't too happy about that, never has been. But I'm just looking around here now. This is a great time to be looking at wildlife tracks, what they were up to early hours of this morning. Let's see, what have we got? I'm looking at tracks still here. Lots of that looks like a, yeah, that looks like a late 90s hunter. Yeah. Interesting tread on that one. Look, wow. Okay, it's so peaceful, it's beautiful, and it's very hard to imagine that all the little creatures that are, well, so obvious in the summer are all still here, and they're just tucked away somewhere. I mean, you look up at the trees, there's no leaves, but can you see a bird? No. Amazing. There's a snowman right over there. He's happy in his element. They look like muntjac tracks there. Let's see where he's going. Away from me into the woods most probably. It's wonderful. Still some leaves hang on these trees, you know. That was the old wet late August and autumn, wasn't it? Now let's go up here. I know that there's something rather interesting and historical not far away. Look at that. Fantastic. Just derelict in the middle of a wood. Great. That's a nice find. What was it built for? When? It looks pretty old. Some sort of activity was going on. Things were being made and repaired in this old hut. It could well be from the wartime actually, because it's got a corrugated roof. Look at that. It's fantastic. Just like some sort of carcass of some prehistoric monster. My imagination's going wild, but isn't that wonderful? Let's go in and see if there's anything left. Any clues as to what this was used for. Wow, what's down here? There's sort of a lower sheltered bit here. There's nothing left, is there? Well, it's got a concrete floor, so it was used for something substantial. Shouldn't think there's any power on though. Wow. Guess I should have toe detectors and a hard hat on. Whoa. Fantastic. Look. This field has been deep ploughed. This is another one that I've not detected on, and I can't help myself because there are actually visible bits of earth without any snow on them, and you never know, there could just be a little find sticking out of that earth there. So I'm going to have a really good little look around here. This is going to be a most interesting field walk. Well, there's a bit of old roof tile. There you go. What we got there? It's got a slight curve. No, that's roof tile. Yep, there's another piece. It's everywhere, isn't it? Just proof that there was just dwellings all over these fields when they were cut up into smaller strip lichens. Wonderful. And it's so peaceful. Beautiful. Now, just walking along this hedgerow here, and there's proof that things were going on around here before this field was so vast, and there must be 100 odd acres here. But there's an old post. That's centuries old, that. Beautiful. Look at that. And that's just sitting there. I reckon that was here before this actually hedge made this massive boundary. There it is, an old post. Was there an entrance here? Is there another one? What's that one up there? No, that's not. That's all natural. Just the one post sitting there, all on its lonesome. But we're working our way down now to just a point there, a gate into the nature reserve. Okay, I can hear somebody calling out for their dog down there. I hope it's a black one. If it's white, they're in trouble. Anyway, here we are on the side. Now, there's something I've just noticed here. I don't think it's got anything to do with the farm. I think that's a gun emplacement set up here, because I say all the way around here, we've just got evidence all over the place of the third line of defence. And that does look like, yeah, that's what its purpose was. Big gun on there, looking out across the fields. Yeah, and here we are down at well, an old bird hide, and danger deep water. Well, sometimes see herons on here, but they're not going to be fishing today. Look at this. Okay, well, that affords a little well, a dodgy looking bridge across there, but if you needed to get there in a hurry across the other side, that's the way I'd go. Not going to try it for anybody's entertainment though. No, it looks so different now. That wood over there, that's my friend's wood, and that's where I shot the longbow and the crossbow videos back in the summer. Well, this is where I started. I went off into the countryside. Now we're coming up and through this alley and up into the old village of Mountfitchett, with a few interesting historical things on the way. Love these little old alleys, they're great. And halfway up Chapel Hill, it's so peaceful today, it's amazing. This is where they had the Remembrance Day service a few weeks ago. We have St John's, this beautiful Victorian Gothic splendour. Look at it. That was built, I've already covered the church, the old Norman church, got a video on that, and that basically fell into disrepair, although it is still used, but this is the church that took over, and it's absolutely lovely. I'm just going up to the top of Chapel Hill now, because there's a bit of a story there. There's the old courthouse, built in 1854. So here we are, the top of Chapel Hill. There's a beautiful little arts and crafts house just there, which up to a few years ago was lived in by a little old lady who always used to dress in pink. It's been done up by a hotel now, but it's absolutely glorious. But Chapel Hill, so why is it called Chapel Hill? Well, about 1904 stood a medieval chapel right there. And when they put that monument up, I think to commemorate Edward the Seventh's accession to the throne, 1902, they pulled the chapel down. But that's where it stood, and that's why it's called Chapel Hill. Well, we're approaching the end of the walk and coming back home, and here's the village green. Everybody having lots of fun, making snowmen and playing around with toboggans. Fantastic. And there, just behind that tree, is a windmill. And that's right next to my house. And I love that thing. That's built in 1786, I believe. So that's going to be the last point before we reach home. And here we are. Look at that. Sadly, the sails are facing the other way, but that's wonderful. And every Sunday, first Sunday of the month, they do guided tours. So if I grease the old tour guide with a few silver groats, maybe we'll be able to get a little tour. It's absolutely wonderful in there. It's like being miniaturised and stuck inside a clock. Wonderful. My car hasn't gone anywhere today. Here we are. Home sweet home. That was a fantastic walk. And I'm ready for coffee now. Oh, yep, that's what we saw this morning, but it didn't stop me.